Tibet now! On March 10th this year, before the Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C., Tibetan demonstrators and Western supporters were joined by the freedom fighters of East Turkestan. The freedom fighters of East Turkestan have joined with the Tibetan freedom fighters, marched 8 days of this march from Washington to New York, and please join me in welcoming a representative of the Freedom and Independence Movement for East Turkestan, Mr. Anwar Yusuf Turani.
China out of Tibet! China out of Tibet! China out of Tibet! China out of Tibet! Freedom for Tibet! Freedom for Tibet! Freedom for East Turkestan! Freedom for East Turkestan! Long live Eastern Turkestan! Long live East Turkestan! Long live Tibet! Long live Tibet!
Ne kılayım bu elemler derdini, ne iteyim bu gazaplar derdini. Ol Hudayım sorsa kazi bulup, biz yetim, biz garipler erzini. Vay Allah, üzen sehi, ya Rahim, ya Kerim, ya Besir, ya Semi, ya Rabbim, ya Gufur. Yamaninin sanı yok, yakşı dep koygan bilen, İçimde derdim tula, yaşı dep koygan bilen. İçimde erzim tula, yaşı dep koygan bilen. Tuşidi tüvüt oldu Türkistan'ın teşini. Ol Hudayım olmasa biz garipnin beşini. Kim kilip eytar idi biz yetimnin yeşini. Bir pay atmayşen aldı, bir pul bemeyen aldı, ne zaman doldu bugün. Ne çılap mallar birip, ne çılap canlar birip, ağzılap amallı sap, ne zaman doldu bugün. Vay, ne zaman doldu bugün. Netçiler veyranı boldu, mınlılar kanı zar, ne zaman doldu bugün. Netçilap mallar birip, netçilap canlar birip, ağzılap amallı sap, ne zaman doldu bugün. Eysem tügümez bu derdim ne, yazsam tügümez men erzimni. Veyran kıldı bir çıraylık vatanimni. Allah'y nimdak zaman bu, kandak zaman bu, harap kıldı bir çıraylık makanimni. This is the famous nationalist song written by and composed by Zunan Siddiq. He passed away 2 years ago. Translation: how can I endure such insult? What can I do about this hurt? As judge, God hears the petition of us, orphans and the helpless people. Oh God, oh God, oh great God, the evil people are uncountable, even though you hear me praise them. I am discontent, even though I showed long life. I petitioned God, even though I showed long life. They stripped the jewels of East Turkestan. If God doesn't rub the heads of us helpless, who comes wipe the tears from the eyes of us orphans? I cannot finish my story. My petition is endless. They destroyed my beautiful country. They took the cities without a single ballot. They took the land without paying a penny. What has happened? What we handed over all our properties. We sacrificed our spirits. We wanted salvation. But what has happened? Ladies and gentlemen, here, first of all, as a member of more than 25 million East Turkestanis, I would like to express my support for the independence of Tibet. Secondly, I will intend to demonstrate absolute rights of independence of East Turkestan, which was also illegal occupation by the People's Republic of China in since 1949. Thirdly, I appeal that United Nations General Assembly enforce all international human rights instruments, including Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the rights to self-determination of peoples under the colonial and alien domination. Finally, I ask the United Nations to recognize and support independence of East Turkestan. East Turkestan, which has remained an independent state for many centuries, was invaded by the People's Republic of China. Since then, Eastern Turkestan became a dungeon for its people. This is because China has constantly violated the human rights of the indigenous people of East Turkestan. More than 500,000 Turkestanis who bravely challenged to the Chinese authority were executed. More than 300,000 fled to neighboring countries, and hundreds of thousands of East Turkestanis have been sent to labor camps by the dictatorship of the Chinese government because those Turkestanis were condemned as Turkic nationalists, counter-revolutionary or anti-communist, and bourgeois capitalists. They have been constantly tortured, forced to do the harsh physical labor, criticized, beaten, and insulted by the Chinese Red Guard. According to a reliable Chinese source, which is only allowed to circulate among the high-ranked officials of Chinese Communist Party, there have been more than 414 uprisings since 1949, and almost all of them intend to establish an independent East Turkestan. But all of those independent movements have been brutally crushed by China. Almost all leaders of this uprising were executed, and many participants of this uprising were sentenced for long-term imprisonment, and many were inhumanly tortured. For instance, 17 key organizers of the violent uprising occurred in Aktu County of East Turkestan in 1990 were executed in 1992. Around 30% of the participants of the 414 uprising were teenagers between the age of 12 and 18. Among the 17 victims who were executed in 1992, 2 of them were 16 years old, and their execution was implemented on their 18th birthdays. In addition, China has attempted to systematically destroy the Turkestani culture, religion, and race. China has forced the Turkestanis, who are entirely different from Chinese, speak, write, read, dress, eat, sing, dance, think, behave, and live like the Chinese, as it has done to the Tibetans. China has attempted to genocide the Turkestanis by moving more than 300,000 Han Chinese immigrants from China proper into East Turkestan each year. China has applied its birth control policy, permitting only 1 or 2 children per couple to the native people of East Turkestan against their will. In addition, thousands of women forcibly sterilized, and thousands of unborn fetus of pregnant women who failed to obey the birth control policy were forcibly aborted. And during the procedure, hundreds of women died. The indigenous Turkic people of Turkestan, consisting of largely Uyghur, Kazakh, Kyrgyz, Uzbek, Tatars, and Iranian-speaking Tajiks, were accounted for 92% of the region's population in the 1940s. But according to the recent Chinese census, the population of East Turkestan is around 16 million, and the percentage of the indigenous population to the total population is 60%. On the contrary, the Chinese in Eastern Turkestan, numbering around 200,000 in 1940s, according to the provincial census of 1946, reached to 7 million. China has exploited the natural resource of the territory by taking all kinds of natural resource into China without paying a penny to the native people of the East Turkestan. Further, almost all of the jobs in East Turkestan were given to the Han Chinese immigrants. As a result, hundreds of thousands of Turkestanis were left homeless, and hundreds of thousands of Turkestanis have been facing tremendous hardship to run their daily life.